Dear teachers and students and respected educationists, you are welcome. It is my kind request that those who have been subscribed our channel so far may kindly subscribe it. Dear teachers and students, in the last 5 classes we saw the letters and phonemes used in English. Today we are going to see the letters used in Tamil. Come. Dear teachers and students, in Tamil, 247 letters are used. These letters have been classified into 5 categories known as ஓருயிரெழுத்து, ஈருயிரெழுத்து, மெய்யெழுத்து, உயிர்மெய்யெழுத்து, ஆயுதம். That is, single vowel, double vowel, consonant, compound letters and special letters. See, these 247 letters, out of these 247 letters, 10 letters are single vowels, 2 letters are diphthongs, 18 letters are consonants, 216 letters are compound letters, and 1 letter is a special letter. Thus, in Tamil, 247 letters are used. See, out of the 10 single vowels, these 10 single vowels have been classified into two kinds, known as short vowels and long vowels. There are 5 short vowels and 5 long vowels. Dear teachers and students, though 247 letters are used in Tamil, the primary letters used in Tamil are only 30. That is 10 single vowels, 2 diphthongs and 18 consonants. In these 30 letters, 10 pure vowels and 2 diphthongs combine with these 18 consonants, forming 216 special compound letters. 216 compound letters. Thus, in Tamil, there are 247 letters known as pure vowels 10, diphthongs 2, consonants 18, compound letters 216 and special letter 1. Now let us see the names of the 10 single vowels used in Tamil. The name of the first Tamil letter is A. Amma. A. Adu. E. Ilai. E. E. U. Ural. U. Usi. A. Erudu. A. Eni. O. Uttagam. O. Onan. Let us see the two diphthongs used in Tamil. The name of the first diphthong is I, Aindu. Second diphthong is Av, Avvai. See, out of the 10 single vowels, 3 vowels A, E, O. These 3 vowels combine themselves forming 2 double vowels, that is diphthongs. That is A and E combine themselves forming I, and A and U combine themselves forming Au. Here we have to see an important fact, an important factor. It is told that in Tamil, 12 vowels are used. In these 12 vowels, 5 are short vowels and 7 are long vowels. This classification is not up to the mark. Really, there are only 10 single vowels in Tamil. Out of these 10 single vowels, 3 vowels A, E, U combine themselves forming 2 diphthongs. So, hereafter we should say that there are 10 single vowels and 2 diphthongs in Tamil. These 10 pure vowels have been classified into 2 kinds known as short and long vowels, having 5 letters each. Now, let us see the names of the 18 consonant letters used in Tamil. The name of the first consonant letter is Ik, Akkal, Ing, Tangai, Ich, Pachai, Ing, Vinyanam, It, Pattam, In, Kan, It, Pattu, In, Anniyan, Ip, Appa, Im, Amma, E, Nei, Ir, Thair, Il, Nel, Iv, Ivvaru, Il, Tamil, Il, Kal, Ir, Karpagam, In, Man. Dear teachers and students, an important factor we have to bear in mind is, in Tamil, the E, the consonant letter E, would not appear after a short compound letter, short compound letters formed with a and consonants. That is, the consonant letter E would not appear after the compound letters, after 18 compound letters formed by the short vowel A and 18 consonant letters. This is a scientific fact. That is why A and E combined themselves, forming the diphthong I. So instead of I, using A, E is absolutely wrong. Now see how the compound letters with I are formed. Ik plus I, kai. Ing plus I, ngai. Ich plus I, chai. Ing I, ngai. It I, dai. In I, nai. Ik I, tai. In I, nai. Ip I, pai. Im I, mai. I yai. Ir I, rai. Il I, lai. You I, vai. Il I, rai. Il I, lai. Ir I, rai. In I, nai. Dear teachers and students, listen here carefully. That is the consonant letter ik and the vowel a combine themselves forming ka, and e stands with them. That is, these three letters e, a, e form the syllable kai. In the syllable, there are two consonant letters and one vowel letter. See here, in this word kai, ik plus I combines with ik, forming kai. Here there are one consonant and one diphthong. Thus there are two letters are here. Though there are two vowels a and e in the diphthong I, these two letters could easily combine themselves, forming the diphthong I. So it is why in Tamil the consonant E would not appear after the letter A. That is, as A and E could combine themselves, forming the diphthong I, the consonant letter E cannot appear after the letter A. Look here carefully. See, in the word kai, if we write the word kai as kai, thai as thai, pi as pi, and the word nai as nai, nai as nai. How ignorant it would be. Even though we write like this, we cannot pronounce it. Even if we pronounce it taking some effort, that sound would be having no meaning at all. You see, some people are writing the word mayam as mayam. How ignorant they are in writing like this. Because the consonant E cannot appear after the short compound letter ma. See, as you see, as A and E combine themselves forming I, E cannot combine with A forming the diphthong I. So, using E after the short vowel A is subject to examination. So, writing INR is subject to examination. But writing INR is alright. Writing Ayyappan is to be tested, have to be tested. But writing Ayyappan is alright. These facts, you can see these facts in the pictures that we are going to see. That is, we should bear in mind that the consonant letter E cannot replace the vowel letter E. This is a scientific fact. This is the science how the tongue moves in forming these letters, in forming these phonemes. Now, let us see how the diphthong wow forms compound letters with other consonant letters. Ik plus au, cow. In plus au, ngau. Ich plus au, chow. In au, ngau. It au, dow. In au, now. It au, thou. In au, now. Ip au, pow. Im au, mau. I au, yau. Ir au, rau. Il au, lau. You au, wow. Wow. Il au, lau. Il au, lau. Ir au, rau. In au, now. Let us see an important thing here. That is, the definition of 54. There is the 54th definition of Tulgapyam. says அகர இகரம் ஐகாரமாகும். அகர இகரம் ஐகாரமாகும். That is, a would combine with e forming I. A would combine with e forming I. That is explained by this definition. A definition 56 says agaram ugaram augaram ஆகும். That is, a would combine with o forming the diphthong au. Au. Here, Tolgapir also says, through the definition 56, அகரத்து இம்பர் யகர புள்ளியும் ஐயன் நெடுஞ்சினை மெய்பெறத் தோன்றும். That is, as a combines with the e forming the diphthong I, a would combine with the consonant e forming the diphthong I. This definition is not up to the mark. It needs rectification. Due rectification it needs. Say a plus e I, okay, but a plus e is equal to I. How? This is totally wrong. Here, a would combine with e forming the diphthong I is scientifically right, but a would combine with the consonant e forming the diphthong letter I is totally wrong. It's not correct. See the reasons. See the reasons. You see, two vowels could combine themselves forming a diphthong as a capital E I. But a consonant letter or phoneme cannot combine with a vowel. See, a plus e is equal to I. It is not possible. They won't combine themselves and form a compound letter or phoneme. Thirdly, two a vowel phoneme would combine with a consonant phoneme, forming a compound phoneme, a compound letter. See, ik plus a ka, but two consonant phonemes cannot combine themselves and form a compound phoneme. Here we have to see a mathematical reasons also. You see, the one unit vowel a and the one unit vowel e combine themselves forming the two unit diphthong I. That is, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Similarly, a plus e is equal to I. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. A plus e is equal to I. But how the one unit a and half unit e can combine themselves forming the two unit I? See, 1 plus half is equal to 1 and half. How it would become 2? Likewise, how A and E could combine themselves forming I? Not possible. Not possible. So, so the saying that A and E would combine themselves forming the diphthong I is entirely wrong. You see, as A and E combine themselves forming the diphthong I, A and E cannot combine themselves forming the letter I. In that way, as A and U combine themselves forming the diphthong OW, A and U cannot combine themselves forming the diphthong A. See, according to Tolkappiyar, definition 54, 55 and 56 are fake or counterfeits. But actually, definitions 54 and 55 are right, are totally right. But the definition 56 only is fake. The definition 56 alone is fake. You see, as Tolkappiyam says, Nannul definition 1 to 5 says, அம்முன் இகரம் யகரம் என்றிவை எய்தின் ஐ ஒத்து இசைக்கும் அவ்வோடு உவ்வும் வவ்வும் அவ்வோர் அன்ன, says Nannur. Here also, as we saw earlier, as A and E combine forming the diphthong I, A and E would combine themselves forming I. This is right, this is wrong. Likewise, A would combine with U forming OW. It is okay, but A and E cannot combine themselves and form a compound letter, a diphthong. See, as in Tamil, two diphthong phonemes I and OW are used. In English, 8 diphthongs phonemes are used. That we have already seen. Dear teachers and students and educationists, now let us see in which ways I and RE and OW and RU are not equal. Let us see the pictures. See the picture, how the diphthong I is formed. See, first, the center of the tongue lightly rises and A is formed. Then the front tongue rises and the letter of phoneme E is formed. Then A and E combine themselves, forming the diphthong I. A plus E, I. Thus, this is the way how the diphthong I is formed. See how the syllable I is formed. You see, first the center of the tongue slightly rises and letter A is formed. Then, secondly, the back of the tongue rises and make it tight contact and friction with the soft palate, forming the consonant phoneme or letter A. After these two letters A and E are produced, they stand as they were born. They do not try to merge with each other, forming a compound phoneme, because that is not possible. See, A and E are standing as they are born. Here also A capital E. They stand as they were born, as they were produced. Thus, it is clear the diphthong I and the syllable I are not equal. Then let us see how the diphthong OW is formed. First, the center of the tongue slightly rises and the letter A, that is the phoneme A, is formed. Then the back of the tongue rises to the maximum and form the phoneme or letter O, and then A moves towards O and form the compound phoneme, that is the diphthong OW. OW, A plus O, OW. This is the way how the diphthong OW is formed. Now let us see how the syllable OW is formed. You see, first the center of the tongue slightly rises, forming the letter A. Then the lower lip makes a tight contact with the edge of the upper teeth ridge and makes some abstraction there, forming the letter U. Both the letter A and U stand in their own place, that is where they were born. A does not try to move towards U and form a compound phoneme, because that is not possible. You see, A plus U, A plus U, O. They stand as they were born. Thus, it is very clear that the diphthong OW and the syllable OW are not equal to one another. All right. Dear teachers and students and respected educationate and Tamil scholars, You have seen here, I have explained very clearly the ways in which the two diphthongs I and OU are totally different from the two syllables R, E, I and R, U, O. So, this, misconceived facts should be totally eradicated from the learners of Tamil. To do so, we should take the facts that I and OU are totally different from I and OU. They should be taken to the grammar of Tamil. Then only the present learners and the future generations of Tamil learners would be having the right letters and phonemes of English. It is the utmost duty of the Tamil scholars and the government of Tamil Nadu to register these facts in the book of Tamil grammar. Let us hope that Tamil scholars and the government of Tamil Nadu might take due steps to do these things. Dear teachers and students, in this class we have seen the letters of Tamil. In the next class we are going to see the 33 phonemes used in Tamil. Let us see. Thank you.